Hello. This is a slightly different video from the rest. There's no lore here or any story to craft, but I wanted to show I've been doing a bit of creative work, I guess, with some 3D modeling. Just aforementioned before I go and show these models, I have never had any experience with modeling, 3D modeling, or any 3D modeling software. This is my first ever go at it, and these are like the first ever models I've ever created. So looking in the first one, we can see this weird looking heart thing chained to a tree. Now this is obviously for my story Bane of Mortality with Dizzy-On, but to show you what I've done is I've gone off and made a bunch of shapes. You can see how the tree has been made here with I think it was a cylinder, and I added a bunch of polygons, a few polygons to make this kind of like blocky kind of look, and I just basically copied and pasted it all the way up to make this kind of tree shape, I guess you can say. I'm gonna move the camera a bit to make this tree shape here, and again copied and pasted it for the branches, and that's how I made the tree and the roots down here. That's basically how I made everything. I just copied and pasted and resized and re-angled the same shape over and over again. The next thing I made was actually the heart here. I think for this I used I think it was a sphere that I again put the polygon count really low, and then I used the editing tool to move and add this kind of shape to it. It's kind of heart shape. This was just a sphere, slightly crunched, as you could probably guess. And here is again the same shape here, but just shrunken down to these tiny little bits to make kind of like, I don't know the anatomy of a heart, but they're the kind of things I kind of point out at the top. The next was the chains, actually, and the chains were surprisingly easy to make. I thought they were going to be really hard. I thought it was going to take a lot of time to make these chains, but actually, when I got to it, I took a donut shape. I can't remember what they call it mathematically or scientifically, and I again lowered it down extremely in detail to make these kind of hexagon looking shape, and then I just copied and pasted it over and over again, slightly moving the angle, slightly changing it, tweaking it so it like comes down to this chain shape. And then when that was finished, I just copied and pasted on the other side, and then again copied and pasted here. It will go all the way down to the ground to make this like look like it's chained up to the tree, or part of the tree. It's just a very small tree, all things considered. But yeah, this was literally the first ever model I ever made. I originally did try the Holy Donut, which is apparently what many people do at the start of Blender. They make a donut shape. That unfortunately crashed for me. I didn't have it saved anywhere. I got like halfway through and I thought, okay, well, I kind of don't want to go through the donut shape again. So I kind of went off and experimented a little bit. I'll probably have to go back to it because, again, this is really basic. And yeah, this was the first ever model I made. I will show now a rendered picture of it, and then I'll go on to the next model. So here we are at the second model, and you can probably tell this isn't finished. I actually did this after Dizzy-On, and I kind of stopped because I realized how complicated this was gonna be. So what you're seeing right now is two pillars with a pillar connecting at the top, and what this shape right here is meant to be was this was meant to be a snake going up the pillar, and you can kind of see that I kind of got that shape going. Again, I think it was I think I took a sphere, crunched it down, stretched it out, and to make these kind of limbs going up. And I got to the top on the first one, and I wanted to kind of sculpt these together. but I had a real tough time doing it, and I just thought this is probably a bit advanced for a beginner. Like, this is the second thing I went to make. I mean, I think the shape is quite good. What I was gonna do was I was gonna have these two bits connect, like here, like kind of like swirl around this, and have like a snake's head come out here, or like two snake heads. But again, it just got really complicated. I was getting tired, and I just went, alright, I'm gonna stop here. But you can kind of see what I was trying to do. And it kind of works, it kind of didn't. I don't have a render for this one. I didn't add any colors. Again, it's not finished. So I could probably go back to make this. But yeah, this is the second one. I was gonna call it the snake pillar. But yeah, no render for this one, and I'll go on to the next thing I made. Okay, so the third thing we made, this interesting looking thing. What this was, as you can probably see, it's something coming out of a pool, and it looks like a spider at first glance. But what I was originally trying to do with this one was, you can see the arms, right, and you can see like little claws there on the arms. But what this was meant to be, this big looking spider back, was it was meant to be somebody's back coming out, like, you know, they were like pushing themselves up, and this was meant to be their back. And I got the shape, but it was too big, and I didn't realize that once I put this all together. And it was too far back, second, it was too big. And when I tried to go to change it, like move it, shrink it down, it just caused the entire model to kind of like fall apart, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna leave this as this is. And what's interesting is that, again, it was meant to be someone's back, and I was gonna have someone's head, and if we go underneath the model, you can see it doesn't look good, but this was meant to be kind of more seen at the top, and this was meant to be like seeing someone's neck. Again, the head was meant to be submerged, but this was kind of meant to be the neck. It's not the best looking thing, honestly. Again, it looks like a spider at first glance, and it looks like a spider, especially from the rendered camera angle, because I do have a render for this one. As you can see, this is the camera. And again, this was the third one. The pool came out really nice, actually. I really like how the pool came out visually. Again, I just edited it and moved about this like kind of original sphere shape. And yeah, this came out pretty decent. Like, I'm pretty happy with it. Third thing, and this one has a render. I will show that now, and I will go on to the fourth and final one I've made so far. I want to show you guys. Okay, and we get to the fourth model that I've made so far. And this one's huge. You can see how big this one is, and this is called the Maw. I didn't know what I was making with this. Originally, I think I was trying to make a big snake worm thing with this shape. But what ended up, I kind of did, I edited it, kind of gave it a curve and stuff, but then I copied and pasted it. And then I was like, oh, this looks kind of like a tentacle, so I added these big spikes to it right here. And then I was like, yeah, this is a tentacle. So I added more of them around. Again, we got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big tentacles. And I thought, you know what, we'll add like a giant maw to the middle of it, right here. And I made this shape, and I went, alright, I'll add some teeth, and that's what I've done. These very basic triangular shapes. And then I added more tentacles in the middle. Again, these are just copy-pasted from this, but shrunken really far down. And again, added some spike. And then I added this eye to the middle of it, which at the moment doesn't look like an eye, but when it's rendered, because this is not finished, but when it's rendered, I'm going to have the eye color here being black, and then the rest of it, the people are going to be white. I don't know what other colors to give the tentacles and everything else. I'm kind of deciding. This model looks huge. Like, it's really big. You see underneath it, it's all the various shapes and stuff. This model is massive, and I kind of got a bit overboard with this one, the teeth and the tentacles coming out. I was gonna have a planet in the middle of it, like going into the maw, but then it was like, this is becoming quite big. Again, I didn't want to kind of go overboard with it. But you can see all the models I've made, and you can probably come to the conclusion that they're very basic shapes. And the reason why they're kind of all simple, they're not like smooth, they're not looking kind of realistic, because I saw some videos of how to do modeling, and they said, I think one guy said stick to like a simple 8-bit kind of looking style, and then that's how you like start. So that's what I've taken that to heart, and most models look quite 8-bit. This kind of looks like the most detailed one, with like more smooth curves and stuff. But yeah, every model I've tried to make as simple as possible, with simple shapes, just to get some like actual creation done. If I tried to make it too realistic, it would have been almost impossible for me. So yeah, I've stuck with simple shapes. Now again, this is a very different video to all my others. I just kind of, what I did, I just wanted to kind of do something a bit creative, and I picked up 3D modeling. I'm no artist, never done 3D modeling before, and these are kind of the things that I just kind of created. These were the things that came to mind, and I really hope you guys like these looking models, because I don't know, I may do more in the future. Again, for the stories, right? Some like a visual kind of guide to what I'm writing. But yeah, this is like some 3D modeling that I've done, and I kind of wanted to share with you guys. And I hope you enjoyed this short little video. Again, the models are pretty bad, but they're my first ever dive into this. So maybe they're good, maybe they're alright. I don't know. Fate will decide that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I might do more of this in the future, and I'll see you guys around. Thank you.